Why does time only move in forward direction in our universe? Now, many people say this is due to the fact that the entropy of our universe is increasing. So, but then let me tell you why this reason is not correct. Is because when we talk about entropy, it's basically it's the ability of a system to create the information in various ways, and that information created, or that particular action which created that information, should be backed with known law of physics. And if it's not backed with known law of physics, it's the decrease in entropy. For example, when an egg drops from the table and it smashes down, creating some mess on the floor, there's the entropy of the system increases. Now, and the action of the egg dropping from the table and smashing down was supported by known law of physics. That's why we consider it as the increase in entropy of a system. But let's say the reverse thing happens, and let's say the entire egg mess reassembles itself into the egg on the table. Now, the reason behind this thing does not happen in our universe is because no known law of physics actually support this. And since known law of physics supports this, it's actually a decrease in entropy of a system. Now, when we talk about the known law of physics, everything that happens in this universe are due to the four fundamental forces of our universe, which are the force of gravity, the force of electromagnetism, the force of the weak force, and the strong force. Now, for this force to operate, now for these four forces to operate, they need is mass. And now, when we talk about mass, what mass needs for its existence is the fabric of space-time. So, fabric of space-time and mass have the relation between them, and they both need each other. And then it's the later process where the force of gravity and stuff like that. So, the very first thing we need for the four fundamental forces to operate is anything. Anything should possess first parameter is the mass, and what mass need is the fabric of space-time. So fabric of space-time is the first thing, which was created. So opposite reasoning, reasoning the answering the question that the why the fabric of space-time, I mean the why time always move in forward direction by a fact that entropy of a universe increases. It would be just the opposite reasoning, which is not gonna make sense, because it was for space-time and mass which came into the existence, and they both have some relation between them. So it was for space time and mass, and then stuff like that, and both need each other. So the concept of space time is older than the concept of entropy. So reverse is reasoning that why time always move in forward direction, just because of entropy. That's just reverse reasoning, I mean the opposite reasoning, which is just not going to make sense, because as I said, the concept of space-time is older than concept of entropy. And again, to answer this question why time always run for in forward direction in our universe, is because when we talk about hyperspace, it has infinite number of dimensions, and one of these four dimensions is what our space-time is. Now, what separates space from time is that time has a flowing nature. Now, you can have some universe where which is a part of hyperspace where time is actually running backward. So it can be anything. You can have various permutations and combinations there. And so you can have a universe where time there are two dimensions of space, two dimensions of time. So when it comes to hyperspace, you have infinite number of dimensions available to you. So you can make any type of combination of space. You can make that space flow and make time. You can make as much as three time dimensions or one space, and many more. There are so many infinite number of combinations of having space and the nature of space being changed into time and stuff like that. So why actually time runs in just forward direction in our universe? There's no particular reason for that, as I also mentioned this in my last reel. But this whole video was just to explain you guys that why entropy, uh, explaining the forward motion of time by entropy, just does not make sense. That's it.